Hello, we're going to be talking about week 1 creative task. So you should have access to a two-sided sheet with week 1 and the description of the tasks and the success criteria, and then the actual resource that you need to use to engage with this creative task. Okay, so step 1 is for you to watch this video, which you're doing. Step 2 is to play through the pathway chords and the Seven Nation Army Riff using the backing track to accompany you. Okay, so what you've got is the pathway chords here and the Seven Nation Army Riff here. Hopefully this isn't completely new to you. We're going to start with the Seven Nation Army Riff. Sounds like this. Yeah, something that you guys have played before. It's nothing new, but that is accompanied by a backing track. So let's have a little listen to that. Ready? Again. Okay, the other option is to do the backing chords. Okay, so the backing chords, you're obviously picking your right instrument: trumpet, alto saxophone or tuba, rhythm section or trombone, and you're going to pick one note from each of these 3 columns. So I'm playing the trumpet. I'm going to pick D from the first column. I'm going to pick D again from the second column, and I'm going to pick C sharp from the third column. So here's my first note, D, my second note, D, and my third note, C sharp. And what you're going to do is you're going to play the first note 2 times, second note 2 times, third note 2 times, like this. And that goes along with the backing track like this. Okay, you get the idea. I started changing the notes halfway through, which is something you can try and do as well. You don't have to pick the same note from each column. You can pick different notes from each column as you go along. So that's the simple kind of backings, the first step of this creative task. Not particularly creative, just playing along with that backing track, getting used to these notes and your instrument and these riffs. Okay, step 3 is to learn to play the blues scale. This is a super important part of this task. And your blues scale is written at the bottom here. We've got different notes for the different instruments. Hopefully that's not too complicated. I'm playing the trumpet, so my solo notes for the blues scale are D, F, G, A flat, A, C, and D. Okay, those are the ones that I need to play. So I'm going to give that a go now. Now notice that the first note is the same as the last note, but they didn't sound the same. This is my first note. This is my last note. So a low D and a high D. So you've got to keep going up as you go through the scale. Make sure that you don't jump back down again when you get to the final note. Now I'm going to try and play from the beginning all the way up to number 7 and then back down to number 1. So we're going up the scale and down the scale like this. Nice and slowly with a gap in the middle. Okay, now that, if you look at your success criteria, That's kind of the second one down. I can play the notes of the scale, ascending going up and descending going down, largo at a slow tempo. That's what I just did. Let's try the next one down. I can play the notes in a scale, ascending and descending, going up and down at a medium tempo, at an andante tempo. Sorry, there we go. Bit more challenging at the faster tempo. Now I'm going to try the bottom one, playing up and down at a fast tempo, an allegro tempo. Or maybe even faster. Now actually it's better not to split them up at those faster tempos on the way up and the way down. So I'm going to try now to play up the scale and down the scale in one. I'm not going to play the top note twice. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that. So that is getting on top of your solo notes with the blues scale, and that's a super important part of this creative task. You need to be able to do those things in order to step on to the next bit, the really creative part of the task. So the creative part of the task is, if we look at step 4, use the notes of the scale to create a 2-bar melody using the backing track to accompany you. And that seems like a strange thing. So if we go to our success criteria, it might help us understand. Use 3 different notes. This is the bottom one on step 4. Use 3 different notes from the scale to make a simple 1-bar melody. Okay? Let's listen to that backing track and let's work out what I mean by a 1-bar melody. Okay, so this is our backing track. Now, you can feel that that pulse is there. So how much is 1 bar? Well, it's 4 beats. So let's have a listen. 4 beats of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Just a 1-bar melody. Have a listen again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got to make up a tune that lasts for 4 beats. Let's try that using just 3 notes. I did it, yeah? Dum, dum, dum. That was 4 beats long. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, 4-beat melody, yeah? Not that tricky, I just used 3 notes at a scale. If I look at the next success criteria now, use 3 different notes to come up with a 2-bar melody. Okay, that might give me a little bit more scope. Let's have, how much would 2 bars be? Okay, let's count it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Okay, so that was a 2-bar melody. Let's try and add the melody on top. I'm just going to use 3 notes from my blues scale. Maybe the first 3 notes. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here we go. There it was. Yeah, 2-bar melody. Now let's try using a couple more notes to make this 2-bar melody. Maybe 4 notes. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we have it. A 2-bar melody using 4 notes. So if we look down here, I'm going to use 4 to 6 notes to make a more complex 2-bar melody. Okay, let's try that. So if I'm going to use 4 to 6 notes. I need to do a bit of practice, but let's give it a go. Okay. Yeah, let's have another go. Okay, let's have another go. Maybe I won't start on D this time. Okay, I might just try one more. Okay, so that is your creative task. You've had a look at the scale, you've played along with the backing track and come up with your own melodies. Maybe a 1-bar melody, maybe a 2-bar melody, maybe using 3 notes, maybe using more notes. But that is the kind of first step along your creative journey. We're going to be doing more of this next week. You're going to really develop it next week, pushing into maybe 4-bar melodies using this same scale. So best of luck with your practicing. Really focus on the solo notes on that blues scale. That's really going to unlock your potential in terms of coming up with your own melodies. Play along with the backing track. Maybe you want to extend and expand the melodies that you're writing. Maybe you want to write them down, the notes that you've chosen to use, because that might help you play them again in the future. I would recommend filming yourself as well and listening back and seeing how it goes. The backing track plays at 3 different speeds. So we've done all of these examples today on the slow version of the backing track, but if we keep playing it, it goes on to the faster version of the backing track. Yeah, slightly faster tempo. Yeah, if you're going to do Seven Nation Army at this speed, it would sound like this. Or the backing. Or your melody, your 2-bar melody, what would that sound like at this speed? And we've got an even faster speed. So this is the fastest speed that we've got in the backing track. Really challenge yourself with this. There we go. Good luck practicing.